being from Springdale, growing up, you know, watching the guys that I grew up emulating and always wanting to be a Springdale Bulldog. And then I was fortunate enough to watch my older brother play, and then I played, and then my younger brother also played. So for 9 straight years, there was a Hobbs boy wearing number 26 for the Springdale Bulldog program. And then, you know, I always knew I was going to go into coaching, and just being able to come back home and be a part of this program, that was always my, you know, my goal, my dream job, and now I'm just able to be here and live it. I was growing up, whenever I played and everything, you know, Har-Ber didn't exist at the time, so it was always Springdale-Fayetteville. That was the big rivalry. You know, there was a lot of great games throughout the years, and one of the longest, oldest rivalries in the state. But now, once Har-Ber, you know, whenever they came about and came into, you know, Springdale, it immediately shifted to the Springdale-Har-Ber rivalry. And, you know, now, you know, with the rivalry and everything, I have some of my best friends that I grew up with, that I played football with here, that their kids now play at Har-Ber. So, you know, there's a lot riding on this game, but like I always tell the kids, that we try not to, you know, make too much of it, that we want to treat it like it's every other game, and which I tell them the most important game of the season is the one we have coming up next. So this is the most important game of the season, and it's not because it's Har-Ber, but it's because it's the next one.
Hurry guys, get out of the way, get out of the way.
Steps back. Good. Go. Hey.
My biggest rival is probably Har-Ber, you know. Just growing up in Springdale my whole life, it's always kind of been, this game has always been a big one for not only, you know, just Springdale football, but just the whole town of Springdale. You know, everyone comes out to the games, and it's always a great atmosphere, so I would say definitely Har-Ber.
I was originally at Rogers, so my dad coached at Rogers before Springdale. So I knew about all the rivalries. I mean, Rogers Heritage, Springdale, Har-Ber, and Springdale Har-Ber was always the biggest one. I mean, the town closed, it was always the last week. Everyone showed out, and I mean, Har-Ber's won a couple of them, a lot of them actually, but ever since I got here, we've shifted our mindset. We try and treat every week like it's the most important week, and it really helps us stay steady. And then once we do start playing, that energy ramps up, and we try and dominate.
Because the Springdale-Fayetteville was such an old rivalry and everything, and it had been going on for so long, you know, it was a great rivalry. But I think whenever you have a rivalry like you have now, with 2 teams from the same city, I think it just means a little bit more, because you're seeing these kids, you're growing up with these kids. You know, our players, they know their players inside and out, and you know, we have different events that we're going to be at, different school functions that we're going to see the coaches, you know, at Har-Ber. So, you know, that rivalry kind of gets ingrained to our players and, you know, the community from an early age. And so I think now that, you know, it's between one city, I think a lot of people have pride, you know, in their city and in their school. And I think that's the biggest thing for this rivalry.
I actually got my start coaching here back in 2007 with Coach Wood, and so it was kind of like coming home to me. So it really means a lot to me. There's a lot of familiar faces, you know, around the program, other, you know, coaches that have been here for a while, and all that stuff. So it's been a really good deal. It was like coming home. It was kind of fun. I think rivalries are what makes football kind of fun. I mean, it really does. I mean, football's fun in general, but adding a rivalry to it kind of adds another level to it, if you will. And, you know, Springdale's a football town. I mean, this place is football. I mean, the Bulldogs back in the day before there was 2 high schools were the team. You know, split Har-Ber was really good, and so it is a rivalry, and it's fun, and I think it's great. The kids are fired up. It's good for the town of Springdale. I mean, when both football teams are successful, I think that means a lot for this community. You know, we talked about the history. Like in spring ball, I had a lot of ex-alumni that have come through here and they've been really successful, come through after practices and come speak to them, because I think tradition is important. I also, you know, I think we built on, like, we talk about perseverance, we talk about discipline, and we talk about family. So we learn how to persevere. You know, things aren't always easy. And then perseverance builds discipline, right? Being able to do what you're supposed to do, when you're supposed to do it, how you're supposed to do it, right? And then, you know, the last piece is it all comes together with family. And, you know, and these kids have really bought in. We talked a lot about positive contacts through the off season and going around and high-fiving each other and having positive leadership. And so that's been really important to us.
Honestly, this team's overcame a lot, starting out with new coaches, definitely a change for the team, but I feel like throughout the years we've all come together and formed a bond, and we're just, you know, going through it pretty strong.
About the atmosphere, again, when you're down there coaching, sometimes you don't really, you don't notice it, you're in the moment, but I hear the atmosphere has been awesome. I did notice, like, again, when we played Greenwood and we played Bentonville at home, we had packed house again. Like, I had a lot of people come talk to me about how different the atmosphere is and the energy on the sideline, and people are enjoying being a part of Har-Ber football and come watching Har-Ber football again. And that's important to me because that's what we're trying to build. You know, I just expect the same thing on Friday. I think it's going to be a great high school atmosphere. You're going to have a lot of people packing the stands, coming to watch the city of Springdale get after it. And I just look forward to seeing our kids battle and have fun.
You know, obviously, there's a lot of emotion that goes in, not only, you know, on game day, but also, you know, throughout the week. And so win or lose, you know, you'd like to say that you treat every game the same, and but it does sting. You know, it's a little bit harder to go out in town if you don't win the game. You know, and you got to wait a whole nother year before you get an opportunity to play them again. But also on the flip side, whenever you do win, like we did last year, just the congratulations, the excitement, you know, being able to go out, you know, on the town and everything, you know, with your chest puffed out a little bit more and head held high. So yeah, it goes both ways, but that's part of just being a competitor. And you know, knowing that's a risk in the competition, and we're not afraid of that. So as long as we give our best and we work hard, you know, win or lose, I'm going to be proud of our guys.
My sophomore year, that was actually my first official start. I started the Har-Ber Springdale game, and Coach Hobbs told me before the game, once you get out there, just look around and look at the environment that everyone's out here for. And I mean, it's wild. Black on one side, white on the other. It's loud. Both student sections are loud. Both bands are playing. I mean, you really just got to focus and keep your head in the game.
I mean, I would like to say it doesn't mean anything more than any other week, but obviously, you know, everyone kind of gets into it. There's a lot of hype around the game, and you know, I feel like people always practice better. You know, even in my 9th grade days when we were playing Central and Southwest, and they were the other side, we would practice a lot better, and we would all have a lot more energy. But at the end of the day, it's just another week, and we're just, you know, going to attack it the way we attack every other game.
Growing up with Har-Ber, especially through my younger years, I always looked up to them because, you know, as a little kid, seeing all the varsity team come out, rolling through, scoring, very, very energetic atmosphere, and I always just wanted to be a part of that.
I've never experienced anything else, so I know it's the best here. We've always had the most fun here, always just smash mouth football here.
And now, taking the field, your Har-Ber Wildcats.
I think their hungriness to win. They have been so coachable in the sense that this has been really, really important to them. You know, coming in and trying to build a culture of winning and building a sense of these kids like becoming a family. Because of the past few years, I think it really made them even closer. I mean, and these kids, they fly around and play so hard on a Friday night. I mean, I'm very, very proud of them for that.
Touchdown Springdale. Touchdown, Har-Ber! Reed with the carry. Carson Hager with the carry. Touchdown, Springdale. Touchdown, Har-Ber. Bryce Owens with the keeper. Takes it right. Kashawn Har-Ber with a tackle. That's a 2-yard pick. School District teachers.
Congratulations, we're here with Coach Hobbs of the Springdale Bulldogs. Coach, congrats. How do you feel right now?
It's hard to put into words, you know. Just really proud of our guys. Happy for them. They came out and we started out fast. Har-Ber got the momentum going into halftime, but our kids came out in second half, kept on playing, kept on making plays, and I'm just super excited for them. This is what they've been working for, so I'm glad they get to experience this.
Down by a point at halftime, so what was kind of your encouraging words to kind of just rally them back, knowing how competitive this game is?
Right, well, you know, we just told them, hey, let's take one play at a time. Let's focus on the third quarter. Let's win the third quarter, and let's move on to the fourth, and then finish the game. And our guys, I told them it was going to come down to discipline, trusting each other, doing your job, and that's exactly what they did.
And this is no ordinary game of the season. This is the Battle of Springdale, and you have just won it for the second year in a row. So tell me, how does that feel?
It feels good. Being from Springdale and playing for the Bulldogs means everything, you know. This is what a rivalry game is all about, and it brings a whole town together. You know, my hat's off to Har-Ber. They played a great game. They kept on fighting, kept on battling all the way to the end. You know, I'm just glad that we came up on top tonight.
And your quarterback, Carson, I heard him over on the sideline mention that this was the best game of his life.
Yeah.
What do you think to that?
He's played some really good games, but I would have to say it's definitely up there. I think it'll be a game that all these kids will always remember.
Well, Coach, if you could take away anything from this game into the rest of the season, what would that be?
You know, I think that if we just come out and play like this every single game and have the mindset, you know, I think we can do great things. But I think we can build on this. Obviously, we got a tough road, you know, going ahead. But this gives us some confidence as we move forward in conference.
I don't really know. Can you ask the question again?
Did you win that game?
No.
But we did win the next year.
We won the next year, though.
I'm glad we chose the hottest place.